Yo, welcome back to another Pokemon Scarlet Violet VGC video. I'm your host, Jose Rocks, and today we have another episode of Journey Through VGC. The current format we are in is Regulation F. Y'all ready? Let's get into it. Alright, welcome back everybody. So we have our own version of Iron Leaves here. So when I made this team, I was trying, because there is an Iron Leaves team running around the format right now, and it's kind of with features Thunderus with support, with like electric terrain and scary face and stuff like that, and it also has Raging Bolt and I believe it was a Flutter man on that team. I'm not sure. I know Comfy and some strategies like that, right? So I kind of wanted to go a different route. I tried a bunch of different Iron Leaves sets, just playing with it, trying to see how to make it work. And in my opinion, I found that the offensive set is really like trying to make it be as strong as possible. It's not really ideal for how I think that it should be played. So I wanted to go something a little bit different, just take a different route. So I was like, let's see what this thing can do if we make it a support line. And then I look at the support kit, and it doesn't really have much as a support kit. But then I had an epiphany. So I thought, okay, I see it has Helping Hand and Leer. Let's try to see what we can do to make that work. How can we make Leer work? In order for Leer to work, it has to be around physical attackers, right? And also it has to be a speed. It has to be fast. So I was like, okay, we can give it a booster energy and make the speed higher than the attack, just so that we can get off, be faster than the physical attackers, get off the Leer, and then be able to follow up with an attack, right? And also now, since we have EVs left over, we can throw the rest of the EVs into bulk. So it's a little bit bulkier than the other Iron Leaves that you'll see. So of course we have Fire Tera on this Iron Leaf set. It's gonna be Psyblade, Leaf Blade, Leer, and Helping Hand. So you notice there's no electric terrain on this team. That gimmick is kind of like known for when you're trying to use Iron Leaf. So I kind of wanted to do something just a little bit different where your opponent can't really predict what you have coming. And the idea behind this is that now we're very fast with Leer. We can go for Leer to drop defenses, and now you're able to hit things really hard with your Chien-Pao, your Entei, or even your surprise physical Thunderus set, which is a really cool set that I'm gonna get into next. And so in order to power up Psyblade, if you needed to though, we have Indeedee. So you don't get an attack boost on top of boosting your Psyblade, but Psyblade is still boosted pretty strong in the terrain. And Indeedee is a really good fit for this team, just being able to support it with redirection. There's so many different leads that you can go with than just lead Indeedee, and you'll be pretty good from that point. Helping Hand is just going to help you support anything. Once you get that one Leer off, like a Helping Hand, Sacred Fire, Icicle Crash, or Acrobatics is just going to do so much damage into whatever you're clicking it into, right? And the thing about Leer is that you can drop dark types defense. Usually you see Leer on like Tornadus or like a Thunderus, but they're pranksters, so it doesn't really work on dark types, right? You can do the teammate because it drops the defense of both. It drops the defense of both your opponent's Pokemon on their side of the field, right? If you didn't know what Leer does, it gives your opponents a -1 in their defensive stat, and it does it for both of them at the same time, both of their mons they have on the field. But Leer is usually, like I said, it's run by a prankster user. So this Leer is actually going to be on a booster energy user, so we can get it on dark types, which is really valuable in my opinion. So next we have the surprise Thunderus set. So this Thunderus set is pretty cool. You can use it next to any of these mons, but it most likely likes to be next to Iron Leaves and Indeedee. And why is that? So with the Leer, you're able to deal more damage with your Acrobatics, your Supercell Slam, and your Knockoff. And with Indeedee, you're able to get the Psychic Seed up, so you're a little bit bulkier on the special defense side. And now you also get to activate your Acrobatics, which becomes doubles the power, which is I believe is base 110 when it's doubled when your item is used, right? And the thing about Thunderus is your team looks very Intimidate weak. You have Iron Leaves, you have Chien-Pao, and then you have Entei. Even though Entei is not weak to Intimidate, and Chien-Pao and Iron Leaves are weak to Intimidate, so Incineroar looks kind of good on Brain. Plus, Incineroar is immune to any like prankster moves that Thunderus will want to go for into it. So and also can knock off Indeedee, right? So Incineroar looks incredible into your team, right? So that leads them to want to lead it, and now you're getting a Defiant boost on your Thunderus. And now Thunderus with Stellar Terror, which basically gives you a terrestrialized boost on all of your moves for one time. Now you can go for a terrestrialized acrobatics, a terrestrialized super slam, a terrestrialized not. It's a lot of tongue twisters here. A terrestrialized knockoff, right? And now you're dealing a lot of damage with when you're at that +1 or any like stat drops that Thunderus has got, and it's able to deal a lot of damage. It is a max speed Thunderus, so you outspeed a lot of common meta threats in the format, especially things like Ogerpon. A lot of Ogerpon are choosing to not run max speed, and if they're not max speed, you're gonna outspeed them and be able to one-hit KO them with acrobatics when they're expecting you to just have like Wild Bolt Storm and not be able to deal as much damage as quickly. So it's a really cool set, and you can really just go for that. Switch in Indeedee. Even if you lead Indeedee Thunderus and don't get the Defiant boost, they still might think that you're a special set, and they probably won't, just because you get a Psychic Seed doesn't mean that you're offensive, and they probably will kind of drop their guard and you'll be able to just pick up a KO with acrobatics, which I think is really cool for this Thunderus set. So it is kind of niche. It's probably one of the only Thunderus sets you'll see like this. But I did want to try to do something a little bit different since we're playing on best of one ladder to give this team just a little bit more uniqueness from the other Iron Leaves team that's going around on the ladder right now. So next we have Choice Specs Flutter Main. Flutter Main is going to be a really powerful max speed, max special attack set. So I've been liking the max speed timid Flutter Mains with Choice Specs. In my opinion, it does a lot of damage, and you have protection with Indeedee. You have priority protected with Chien-Pao and Entei going for E-speeds. And it's just really good. You can also lead it next to Iron Leaves and go for Helping Hand. You can lead Iron Leaves or with Flutter or Iron Leaves and Indeedee and just go for a very powerful Helping Hand terrestrialized Tera Fairy. And you're just doing so much damage across the board. It's a really cool set, and it's really powerful. The Power Gem is able to hit a lot of things in a format that are weak to rock. If you think of things like Incineroar, you think of things like Fire Ogerpon. They're very common in the format. Entei, Gouging Fire. All these Pokemon are weak to rock type coverage, so rock type coverage is really good right now. Next, we have a pretty standard Entei set for what you'll see on the ladder. It's going to be Grass Terror, just to help you out against like those Among Us matchups, and also really good into like Side Spam. The Snarl is going to help you drop those special attacks and allow your other Pokemon just to be a little bit more bulky, whether it comes to your Thunderus, your Iron Leaves, or Flutter Main. In my opinion, after playing with this team, I probably would have preferred maybe, I wouldn't say a Choice Band Entei, because then you're kind of like locked and you can't do that and lead Indeedee together. So I'll say maybe like a Citrus Berry or even a Life Orb set, just so you can switch your moves around. I don't think this team really, in my opinion, needed the Snarl support. So if you wanted to recreate this team but with the same Mons, you could just go for like a little bit more offense on your Entei, and I think you'll be better off from that point. That's just my opinion after playing with this team. I don't see too many cases. The Entei set is good, right? It just doesn't support this team in the best way I feel like it could. I feel like a more offensive Entei would be just a little bit better. But of course you have Stomping Tantrum, Extreme Speed, Sacred Fire, pretty standard. Next we have Chien-Pao. This is also going to be a Stellar Terror Chien-Pao. Stellar Terror Chien-Pao with Stellar Terror Icicle Crash. Once you get a Leer off with Iron Leaves, you're just one-shotting everything that doesn't resist it, right? It's just so powerful with the Sword of Ruin ability and just being like max speed and fast with Jolly. You just do so much damage, and it's a really cool strategy to lead, and it's very oppressive, and a lot of teams don't really know what to do when they see Iron Leaves and Chien-Pao in front of you, so it's really cool. Last but not least, we have Rocky Helmet and Indeedee with Water Terror. Water Terror, in my opinion, is the best Terror on Indeedee because it allows this Pokemon to single-handedly 1v1 Water Urshifu. Of course, the Fairy Terror Indeedee can 1v1 the other Urshifu, but with Dazzling Gleam. But I think that just being able to beat down on the Water Urshifu, which could give this team a little bit of problem outside of Iron Leaves, is really good in my opinion. Helping Hand, Follow Me, Trick Room, pretty standard. Psychic instead of Dazzling Gleam because we don't have any Psychic coverage on this team. So the Psychic damage coming out from this Indeedee into things that it can hit for super effective can't be understated. Like, it's really good in Iron Hands, really good into Among Us, really good into those random Poison Terrors that you might see on the ladder. So it's just good coverage, and it allows Indeedee to do more than just sit on the field and just be a redirection bot. But that's going to be it for a team breakdown. This one's a little bit longer than my usual team breakdowns, but I really wanted to explain how this team can work and how to use it. And, we're going to ask the question, is Iron Leaves really that bad? In my opinion, it's not that good. But I think that this is a fun set where you're not really forcing it to do too much and try to carry your team, right? And I think that it's a really cool way to support it. So if you guys like this type of content, this is my final video of showcasing the new 6 paradoxes. If you haven't seen the previous videos, I have one with Iron Boulder, one with Raging Bolt, Walking Wake, Gouging Fire, and Iron Crown. And this is going to be the last one. I built a team specifically around each one of those Pokemon, and I didn't use another one on those respective teams. So each team only has one, and that was kind of the idea of how I wanted to build my, have the first month of the format and just build a team around each one of those. The next season, though, we're going to have a little bit more consistent teams. But for this season, we're kind of just having fun and just building around these new mons and seeing how can we make it work. So if you guys, like I said, if you haven't checked out those previous videos, I made more videos with this team. I mean, not with this team, with the Paradox Pokemon from the past and the future, the new ones introduced in the Indigo Disc. But if you like this type of content where I'm making these wacky teams, go ahead and leave a like for me, subscribe, because we're trying to get to 500 subscribers. And like I said, there's a runner code up at the top right, as well as a Pokepaste down in the description below. And let's get into these battles. All right, so we have Dondozo here. Dondozo. He doesn't have speed control, so I kind of want to go Iron Leaves. And Thunderus. Actually, Iron Leaves and Entei. Flutter main, Chien-Pao in the back. So, Entei, Flutter main. Urshifu, Dark, and Iron Leaves. How do I want to go about this? Honestly, I think I can just go after Urshifu Dark. Urshifu Dark seems like more of a threat to me. Just a gleam from Flutter. He may just take out Iron Leaves because he doesn't know what to do. Yeah. That's fine. I mean, I could have Tera'd in the fire to survive that, but I don't know if it's worth it. I'd rather just try to get rid of Urshifu, which seems like more of an issue to me. He does survive. Okay. I don't want a Tera yet. I do want to try to knock out his Flutter though. And just E-speed here. Oh, he's just letting me get that off. Okay. Is it just a gleam from Flutter? Are you choice specs? Oh, he's not. So we just get a double KO for free. I'll take it. So a double KO at the cost of a little bit of Entei's health and my Iron Leaves. But we have Grass Terror here. So if we can like burn Dondozo, that would be in a good spot. Yeah, so we knew it was in the back. So we should outspeed here. Maybe just be an earthquake. Does that earthquake KO Flutter? Actually, I think a choice based Moonblast is better. I'm gonna switch into Chien-Pao, Tera. Sacred Fire, try to burn down those up. I get the feeling that he's not gonna go for Wave Crash here. It's just gonna be an Earthquake. I don't see why you wouldn't. Right? We're basically trying to burn Entei. I mean, burn Thunderus over here. Yep. So there's Earthquake. Critical hit on Chien-Pao, unfortunately. Burn here would be good. We get it. Nice. Right. So one protect here. Speed just does more damage. I'm gonna try to chip him down into range for Flutter Mane to come in and pick it off with a Moonblast. Just another Earthquake, okay. Yeah, had we not got crit, then Chien-Pao could have took 2 more Earthquakes. But that's what happens, you know, when you switch in like that. I wanted to go for Crash here to get a flinch, but I don't think it's worth it. I think the raw damage is better. My Flutter should outspeed. I am max speed timid, I believe. Now, you know you use so many flutters, you gotta just check. Yep, I'm max speed timid though. So I'll just Moonblast here and Snarl. That KO's Thunderus, and then Snarl drops Tatsugiri's special attack. If he goes for like a Steel Terror here, it's fine, because that won't KO Entei. That won't KO Entei with the special defense drop, and so what he can do is go for like Steel Terror, Terra Blast, KO Flutter, but then I just KO you with Sacred Fire, right? And with the special attack drop, we might even survive on Flutter. So, and we'll definitely survive a Steel Terra Blast onto Entei without being that we got the special attack drop and we have Assault Vest. So that should be pretty much game here. Oh, he sees it right on the wall, so he cancels. Nice. And that's kind of a cool way how you can beat Dondozo. That was a little unorthodox, but we pretty much just used Iron Leaves to break Urshifu's Sash. By being faster than him, we were able to do that. And him just giving up the Urshifu and the Flutter Mane turn 2 was really essential in us winning that game. But let's get into the next one. Oh, wow. So we have a Smurgle here. Dragonite, Chien-Pao, Ogerpon, Heartflame, Gastrodon, and Flutter. I would love to go Iron Leash, but Dragonite kind of threatens that way too much. Smirgle's gonna be annoying here, right? I want to go Chien-Pao Flutter, just really offensive, Indeedee in the back. And does he even bring Gastrodon? Because that's what Arlen Leeds would be good into. I don't even think he brings it. I want to go Entei. I don't even think he brings it, to be honest. Dragonite Smurgle. Okay. Did he really fake out? No. I think I'm gonna bait him into not faking out. Dragonite should Tera here. I think this covers for everything. Yeah. I expect him to think that I may go for like a Ghost Tera on Chien-Pao and not faking out. If he just goes for fake out E-Speed, then props to him. But would you really just go for that? That seems too obvious, right? Oh, White Guard, okay. He did just go for E-Speed into Chien-Pao though. Oh, he's a bulkier set. I don't think he's gonna go for Wide Guard again. We just lost the game if I just went for Moonblast though. I'm gonna go in Indeedee here and click Dazzle again. He should expect me to not click that again. But I could win the game by switching in Indeedee on the Flutter main slot and going for Sacred Sword again in the Dragonite. Expect him to Wide Guard, but I expect him to follow me this time. And expect me to probably try to stop his E-Speed. I am making some really hard reads here, but it's kind of hard to know the mindset of a Smirgle player. But him not going for fake out turn one, I figured that he wouldn't. I don't think he's going to go for the same play again with the White Guard. If he does, props to him for holding his conviction. Oh, he's just protecting. Are you Sash on Smirgle? Okay, that's a good play. I'm gonna try to kill Dragonite here. Switch out in Chien-Pao. If he just attacks Chien-Pao and sleeps Indeedee though, I'm in a bad spot. It's freaking Smirgle, man. Weakness policy Dragon. Can't believe I'm struggling against this lead. And I could have just doubled into the Smurgle, right? And that probably would have won me the game. Before I let it get a spore off. I didn't expect protect weakness policy Dragonite though. Oh, he wasn't even focus Sash. He just lived that. I didn't even peep that he wasn't focus Sash. Freaking Rocky Helmet. Man, I can't wake up next turn on either. Wow, so he's Ice Spinner, E-Speed, Stomping Tantrum, Weakness Policy. Wow, this is a cool Smurgle set. He's using it in a way I think is smart. I respect it because it's not like the Muck and Smurgle strategies where you're just trying to go for evasion and stuff like that. This actually is like a really cool strategy. So I'm happy to showcase, you know, even me losing to it. Because I think it's really cool. I can't wake up on either, so we're just going to get out of here for this point. Because he just Ice Spinners. And probably a Dark type attacking to Indeedee. But that was a really cool team by my opponent, so props to him. Yeah, the game probably would have been over though, turn 1 if I just doubled into Dragonite with Moonblast. And I don't play against Smurgle that often, and I started playing competitive in Generation 8. I didn't play at all in Gen 7 and 6, so I'm not really like hip to how Smurgle plays, right? But now that I'm seeing it, like I need to expect like Wide Guard. I was only expecting like Spore, Follow Me, and Fake Out. But this one is just a completely different set. And so props to him for having a really cool Smurgle set. And let's get into the next one. Alright. Dragonite, Chien-Pao, Flutter Main, Torkoal, Frigoraph, Ogerpon. It could go like Ogerpon, Frigoraph. Entei looks really good here, and Indeedee in the back. I think this is the best lead. I can't really stop Ogerpon Frigoraph from setting up Trick Room, but I can switch in my Entei. And just go for a full power Moonblast onto Ogerpon, try to KO it. Really something even. What is this? I'm very surprised my opponent left this. It is throwing a lot of offense though. I actually think letting him get Trick Room up is okay here. And if he tries to get slick and doesn't go for E-Speed, which he should, into my Chien-Pao, but I have Entei in the back. He didn't even go for E-Speed. He's not going for triple. Alright, so I'm gonna bring out Indeedee here to stop his E-Speed stuff. Wait, I think you're Choice Bandit. You have Aerial Ace, right? That means you can't switch. If you bring Fergraph, I know you have Torkoal in the back. I can get a double KO here. Okay, he does switch Dragonite. We haven't revealed Indeedee yet, though. Alright, Ogerpon. This is still good chip into Ogerpon. Nice. He already Tera, so Icicle Crash should be able to KO Ogerpon next turn. Oh, he brought out Chien-Pao, smart by him. Actually, I want to Tera here, go for Sacred Sword, because I'd rather not miss. Wait, that'll break my Sash. Crash the stab. I expected the KO here. Second fire Chien-Pao. Alright. We just need to hit Crash here, right? Nice. And now I just Sacred Sword, Dragonite, switch in Indeedee. I think that should be game. I haven't revealed Indeedee. He should be scared to lock into a priority attack. I'm just gonna Stella Tera here just to make sure we KO Dragonite. Switch in Indeedee, and that should be game. If he goes for E-Speed here, then he just can't get it off. And then he brings us down to Sash if he goes for Sacred Sword into Chien-Pao, but this should be put us in a really good spot. And I'm tearing here just in case his Dragonite just happens to be like more bulky than I expected on the physical side. Yep, so he did go for E-Speed. So he was hoping that I just didn't bring Indeedee, but we did. So that's how you, we kind of played around not revealing Indeedee. All to work our way around to make this play right here. To make him feel safe to lock him in the E-Speed, because we probably would have been brought out Indeedee if we had it, but we didn't. And we had it in the back the whole time. So he does take me down to Sash. But now just follow me, break his Sash, then I just Sacred Sword him. So that's game. We don't even have to bring Entei back out in this position. And Raiki Helmet breaks his Sash. So my opponent's team was interesting. It has like a Trick Room mode and a Hyper Offense mode. But he didn't even bring Torkoal because he fully expected me to be able to counter his Trick Room, right? So while we did lose Flutter Mane on turn 1, it ended up working out for us. And then Indeedee is going to get the final KO here with Raiki Helmet. Yeah, so he removes our terrain, but it's a little too late. And Indeedee just finishes off. Beautiful. Beautiful. That was a really fun match. fun game. Alright. Is this the match for Iron Leaves? I do have Terrifier. He has snow and sand. And I would have to guess that Thunderus is sheer force. This looks really bad for Thunderus. I'm not going to lie to you. Alright, Iron Leaves Chien-Pao, I'm gonna go with it. He has a lot of spread here. I think Entei can help me against the Ice Core, and Flutter helps me against the Sand Core. Screw it, we're gonna do it. We're gonna go Chien-Pao Leaves, and we're gonna try to just blow through my opponent with offense. I think the sand mode is a little bit more intimidating to me. Okay, really goes with the snow. Alright, so I'm going to try to pick up a one-hit KO on Articuno. My Entei has a good matchup against Chien-Pao, right? And so with this, we drop the defense of Articuno, and then with Stellar Tera, we should be able to do enough damage so we pick up the KO with Icicle Crash. I'm hoping. Oh, perfect. He protects. Can we get a one-hit KO here? We need a highlight from you, Iron Leaves. Can you give us a highlight? Articuno dodges. He dodges the Leer. Oh, it would have KO'd. Oh my god. He dodged the Leer. I think his tail went up. I'm just gonna go for Leer at the same play again. It's one time to shine. And the screen was going so slow, I just had a feeling it was gonna miss. But Articuno is Bright Powder, so it has a chance to avoid it. Oh, well, he's switching. Ninetales. So he's trying to get a defense boost. Alright, so Leer hits both this time. And we're still faster. It's just Blizzard. So he went with the Snow Core. Like, this game probably would have been over had we just connected Leer. Turn one. I'm going to try to break Chien-Pao's Sash here. I keep going for Leer, so he may not click Sucker Punch. I'm going to check. We needed to stall out Tailwind. It's one more turn after the next turn. Yeah, and Ninetales outsped us. I'm gonna switch in a Flutter because if you go for that play again, that's not gonna work out for you. Second fire, Chien-Pao, switch out in Flutter. If we connect this and get a, I mean, even if we don't get a burn, we have E-Speed, right? He hasn't Tera yet. Dang, we just hit that Leer. A one-hit KO on Articuno would be perfect. He is going for Tera. What's going for Tera? Is it Ninetales? Ooh, he's for Tera. Very unconventional team. Get frozen. Nope, this just went from bad to better. What are the chances that we just unthaw and outspeed Chien-Pao? Very unlikely. Yeah, sucker punch. It didn't even matter. He covered for us thawing out too. Good plays by my opponent. Second fires will still do a decent amount. Oh, it's just a one KO. What is your last? Is it Landers? It is Landers. I expect my opponent to protect Landers and try to KO my Chien-Pao. So I'm actually gonna extreme speed and sucker punch you. With Auroraville up, that may not get the KO though. I am have my Tera. I think the Tera wears off when you come back in, right? The boost that you get from Stellar. Yeah, that's not even. He didn't even protect Rocky Helmet Chien-Pao. We did still get a boost from it. Wow, he didn't even protect Landers. So he was willing to just sack Landers there. Yeah, if Veil wasn't up though, we would have got the KO and then we would have just won. But props to my opponent for a really cool team. Yeah, we would have won that game if we just hit Leer. But that's why you don't use Iron Leads. Even when it's in a position to help your team, it's just gonna mess up anyway. It's just the Pokemon is just inherently bad, and it just bad Pokemon usually have bad luck as well. Let's get to the next one. So my opponent has Tornadus, Urshifu. So I want to go with Indeedee Chien-Pao. Yeah, the one game I could have brought Iron Leads to do well is just They couldn't do anything. It's a good lead by my opponent. I could potentially just KO Chien-Pao here, right? I think Russian for water just sweeps me though, just starts. No, he's not Scarf though. Okay, so we get rid of his Chien-Pao. This is a Surge and Strikes. Beautiful. We can actually Tera Chien-Pao and KO his Urshifu. Wait, he's protective pads. What? Wow. We're gonna get Chien-Pao off the field so he does less damage, right? Theoretically, he could go for Glide plus Aqua Jet here. I think Moonblast is still KO there. Would you go for a fake out on the Chien-Pao? You did, okay? We do get Moonblast off. Is it one with KO? Nice. Whew, that was pretty scary. Protective Pass is insane. But that's the only reason why you wouldn't take Chip there, right? Alright. Are you speed? Special attack. So I kind of just want to double up. Really, we don't need to double anything here, right? I just Moonblast this, so I can fire this. He shouldn't be able to remove Entei, and we're just faster. Yeah. This is timid max speed specs, and we get a special attack drop. He should still KO though. Oh, he misses the KO because of the special attack drop. And now we may burn Entei too. I mean, Rillaboom. So he knocks off our Assault Vest, but it's fine. Yeah, we outspeed because we're timid max speed. So that's why this Flutter main is good, because we outspeed a lot of other Flutters without Tailwind and booster energy up. So we just Moonblast. Actually, yeah, because E-Speed goes before Grassy Glass, so that's just double kill over. This game was a little bit sketchy with his lead, but because he didn't Tera, put us in a good spot. Oh, he did Tera. He Tera'd Urshifu, but he didn't Tera Chien-Pao turn 1, which put us in a good spot because we were able to just KO it. Yeah, of course, we had to leave Iron Leaves to get that win, but at least we bounced back from the previous game. Alright, so we have our first match of the day, and we have opposing Entei, Tornadus, Urshifu Water, most likely. Oh no, it might actually be Urshifu Dark since he has Ogre Pond Water, or Wellspring. Urshifu Single Strike, and Flutter main Gamora. Tailwind is pretty scary. It doesn't have any Intimidate, so there's no real need to bring Thunderus. We just kind of get ran over by Gamora, right? Do I want to go the Trick Room route with Indeedee? I think I could go Indeedee Chien-Pao. Entei Flutter in the back. We might have to lead this combo. Due to him having Tailwind, he's just gonna outspeed us, right? Yeah. And you don't, while this is an Iron League's team, and it would be, it's cool to try to use it as much as possible. If you want to actually still be able to win with it, you don't want to force it, right? And bringing it here is kind of forcing it, in my opinion, because it really doesn't hit much besides maybe Gamora. I kind of expected this lead, so I could go Trick Room. Icicle Crash. His team is, even if he doesn't go for Tailwind here, his team is naturally faster than mine, right? Yeah. That's a good switch. Is it Entei? That's a really good switch. Alright, it is Meteor Beam, so what slot are you going into? You're going after Indeedee? Okay. Alright, it's not enough for one hit KO. I'm kind of like Psychic here. Switch into my Entei. It's a good protect by Gamora. What is he? It might be a Snarl here, right? Just to break Chien-Pao Sash, potentially KO Indeedee. This should cover for if it goes for like a Grass Terror, right? And we should underspeed unless he's like a really slow Gamora. Yeah, we should underspeed here. Alright, so he switches out, gives up his special defense boost. Alright. He's still taking a Sacred Fire in that slot. Okay, so he knocks out Indeedee this turn. Alright, so that's in range of another stomping next turn. I get this feeling he may switch Entei out into Thunderus. I'm just gonna go for Fairy Tera Dazzling. Sacred Fire. That should be enough to KO. He switches it into Thunderus, I think he loses the game.
But we should work on a double KO. Yep, there's a switch.
Gamora actually would be a little bit difficult. Yeah, but it's Thunderus. So this is perfect. So we get the KO on Gamora, on Thunderus, and he doesn't get Tailwind up. And now my Chien-Pao in the back is primed to be able to clean this game up. And I say clean it up even though we haven't knocked out a single mon, but everything he has is in the range. And as long as Chien-Pao has a teammate, it's able to like get a one-hit KO on everything. Oh, that's a bulkier Thunderus. This should still KO. This choice specs. Very fair. Yep. So he did switch the wrong way around. If he switched the other way, then he would have been a bit better of a spot. So Gamora is threatening a sludge bomb here. I think I can get a double KO though. He hasn't Tera yet, right? I think I can get a double KO here. I don't need to switch into Chien-Pao. Yep, we survived that. We get the gleam off. And he may KO Flutter, but we take Gamora in exchange. The only thing is that he's gonna get the spikes up. Yeah, that is a one-hit KO. So Chien-Pao Sash does get broken here. And he still has Tera on Urshifu. But we still have Entei. So that should be game regardless. So he can go for like... Let's see. What Tera would he be? Most likely they're dark, right? And that means that we just went with Sacred Sword. But if he's poison, I'm gonna go for Sacred Sword. That should KO him. Plus, I really don't want to miss. Sacred Sword should KO. If he tears into poison, then Stomping should KO. There's usually not any other Teras other than that. He could be Ghost. Oh, he doesn't even go for Tera. So it's a bit anticlimactic. Yes, we get the win. So we didn't have to go for any like crazy, like try to read like a Ghost Tera and Sucker Punch him and stuff like that. Nice, so we get that win.
I think the game played out perfectly. The only thing is like he didn't Tera Entei. He didn't Tera Tornadus because it switched in and got knocked out. He didn't Tera Glamour, so he just never went for a Tera. Maybe he just didn't have a good one. Potentially Urshifu was just Dark Terror, and he didn't want to. Since I was showing that I would click Sacred Fire into Glamour, if it was Grass Terror, he didn't want to go for that type of play in case I like switch Flutter out. All right, so I can understand why he didn't go for Terror. I think his best bet was probably the Tera Entei. If it had a normal Tera into that E speed, and that probably would have picked up the KO on my Entei, right? Then I would have been in a trickier spot. Alright, let's get to the next one. Alright, Latias, Thunderus, Ogerpon, and Cineroar, and Goldango, and Urshifu. This could be a good match for Thunderus. Thunderus leaves Chien-Pao. Entei. Actually, Flutter. Yeah, because I could stop Latias from getting up Tailwind. He shouldn't. If he leads it, he shouldn't be threatened by Thunderus plus Iron Leaves. We can go for like a Leer Stellar Terra knockoff. Acrobatics is not boosted yet, but maybe with Stellar Terror, we can get the KO on Ogerpon with a Leer. You just double protects them, you're just in a bad spot. You could go for like a substitute, but follow me. I think that favors us though, because knocking out Ogerpon would be good here. And then next time we can just break Thunderus set. We got speed it. Alright, so here's Stellar Terra. Protects that slot, but we're not going after this slot. Is this enough to get the KO? We don't have our second C boost. It is though, still. Perfect. Alright, so we get a one-hit KO on Ogerpon. And we needed the Tera to get that off. So this was kind of the idea behind my team when I wanted. Oh, now we just get boosted up. Yes, beautiful. If I had Indeedee in the back, this would be even better. I'm just gonna protect her to get around the fake out. I could just go for Super Slam Cell. I mean, Thunderus is not KOing Tornadus here. I mean, Thunderus here. So I'll go for Super Slam and just Leer. Fake out Sludge Bomb could hurt. Yeah. But he doesn't have speed control, so we're actually positioned well.
Let's just substitute. So I'm gonna go for Super Slam Sail into Incineroar. He doesn't have a ground type in the back, right? Let's see if this choice got Urshifu, does that hurt? I'll go for Side Blade here. Oh, he is switching. Okay. Oh, beautiful. Is it dark or water? It's dark. I mean, that water Urshifu would have been one shot here, but this is really good for us. We break sub and we should KO Urshifu. If it's Sash, then we block in the Sash. We outspeed it next turn. Is that going into my landers? Oh, we survived with one. He can sucker punch us though. Actually, I want to get Chien-Pao in here. Side Blade this slot. He switches in Incineroar fine, but Urshifu should always be going for Sucker Punch here. This game's not over, but I think we're in a position to do well. I saw this coming. I could have just killed Urshifu here. But he should be going for Sucker Punch. I'd be surprised if he doesn't fake out Chien-Pao here. Alright, so Thunderus is kind of expendable here. Oh, we're not switching Thunder. Alright, yeah. We do survive. So what's he coming in with? We do survive. And now we get a full power Moonblast to that slot and Side Blade into the landers. We are at -2 on Iron Leaves though, so I don't expect Side Blade to do too much. Actually might be, yeah, I should, because he's gonna try to go for a sub here. I was thinking about going for another Leer. But we just need to chip the landers down. We don't need to drop his defenses if we just lowering his attack, so it can't really, I mean, it's HP, so it can't really keep going for subs. Yeah, that's a decent chip.
So he's low on both. He may get a double knockout here, but I think it's fine. This Chien-Pao Thunderus should clean up. He does get subbed up. It's fine by me because he doesn't get priority. So let's bring out Thunderus here, KO and Incineroar, and break the sub on the Landers. I expect Super Slam Cell to get the KO. He does have Protected. But we have Sash on Chien-Pao, so we should always win this regardless. But Iron Lee sat on the field and was able to annoy my opponent. So that doesn't get a kill. But you see we didn't get a stab boost on it, so you only get the Tera boost on it once. So let's go for knockoff here and side blade. And that should be game. Okay, we finally get the last one with this team. This team was tough. This team was tough, but that's going to be it for those battles. And let's get into a final review. All right, we're going to get into a final review with this team. So since this season is pretty much wrapping up, I'm only going to do one video with this team. Even though I did 2 videos with all the other ones, I don't really have enough time because I have a bunch of other teams that I want to start to showcase. But for starters, we're going to get this team a 7 out of 10. It's pretty cool. It's really fun. It's unique. Like I said in the intro, just the Entei, I would have preferred if it was a little bit more offensive so it can help support the team a little more when I needed it. But other than that, it is a really good Entei set just in general. It is bulky and it can win you a lot of games just by being able to disrupt your opponent. The Iron Lee set is so cool. The one game that we really could have won, I think, immediately if it just hit that Leer on the Articuno. But of course the Articuno had the bright powder, so we was able to dodge the Leer, but we would have been able to just remove it from the field, and that would have just been really cool to showcase. But like I said, this team is really cool, and you know, I applaud all you guys to give it a try. It's gonna take some time to get used to it. If you really do like Iron Lees, then I think that this is a good way to run it. That's not where it can support, you know, the entire team and just be really disruptive to your opponent. Just give it a couple games, practice with it. Learn the team, learn when to bring Thunderus, learn when to lead Chien-Pao, Iron Lees, learn when Flutter and Indeedee or even Iron Lees can just sweep through your opponent's team and just find like the right lines. And it's going to take a couple matches, but I think once you master this team, it's going to be really fun. It can be really strong, but it has to be used a certain way, right? It can't just be picked up and just thrown and it's just going to like just win you games immediately without actually trying. It's going to make you work for it. But when you do get a win with it, it's very satisfying. As you saw when I got the wins with it, it was just very satisfying to win with this team. So there is a runner code up at the top right, as well as a Pokepaste down in the description below. And let me know in the comment, what do you guys think about Iron Lees? Do you think that this is a cool way to run it? Do you think that this set is a little bit more viable in like the offensive Life Orb set that's, you know, kind of prone to Intimidate? But this one really doesn't care about Intimidate, right? Because it's more so being support. But just let me know with a comment below what you guys think about this team, what you think about the Thunderus set. Going back to like a physical set, which is very reminiscent of Sword and Shield when you had physical Thunderus. But that's going to be it, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. All right, deuces.